Okay. Welcome to the Eternal Ruins, the role-playing game Kickstarter launch party. I'm joined by Felix Isaacs and Rob Leigh, the co-creators of the game. If you would both like to introduce yourselves.
Go on, Felix.
Okay, I am Felix Isaacs. I am the one of the co-writers of the Eternal Ruins RPG. I am also the writer and designer of the WildSea and Pico and the Wild Words engine, which is the system that the Eternal Ruins RPG runs on.
And I'm Rob Leigh. I'm the other co-writer. I created other independent indie roleplay games myself. When the Moon Hangs Low, Age of Steel, which are gothic and dark and nothing like the Eternal Ruins.
Except the demons. I think some of
the demons.
Some of the demons you've made have that's seeped in. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Keep sending demons to Sam, being told to tone them down.
Yeah. I think that's a natural part of creating anything.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of master your own urges for creating something in your own style. So for me, it was putting fewer trees on things.
Yeah, true.
Although we've got some nice green areas of the ruins.
Yeah, true.
You did make the overgrown area, the sprawling garden, right?
Sprawling garden.
Yeah. So you did get.
Yeah, that was.
You got it in there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an important part of my
your
life.
trademark move. Yes, an overgrown wilderness. Yeah. So the plan for today is we'll spend the next hour looking through the beta playtest together and talking about it. And if anyone has any questions, then just send them in the chat and let us know, and we'll answer them. Yeah. So.
And if you haven't already, go and back the Kickstarter.
Yes, exactly. That's the big thing. Yes.
Nice one, Rob.
It's just one of us remembers to plug the Kickstarter. Yeah,
I knew there was a reason we were doing this.
Exactly. Okay.
Currently, it's looking pretty good. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at 40-ish%
so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have a place you want to start particularly, or should we start at the beginning of the book?
I think we should start right at the beginning. Not of the book, but of the Eternal Ruins.
What do you mean?
I mean, Sam, how did you get started doing the Eternal Ruins? Because Rob and I came in way later for this, so...
Sure, yeah. I feel like I've told like a bunch of different versions now on various interviews, so I should probably get my story straight. That happens, believe me. Yeah, sort of like crafting the story of how it got made, I guess. I think the first thing was the sleeping statues illustration, which I'm not sure what page that's on, so I'll just scroll a bit. But here, this one. I made this. I think in maybe 2021, and I'd just been basically playing around. I didn't really have much of a idea for what I was doing, and then this just sort of came out of it, and I was like, oh wow, what is this? This is really cool. I really like this. And then I think I spent quite a while going back and forth of like, oh, do I need to come up with something else now? Like, because I was more in Illustrator mode, I guess, where I just made illustrations, and then I sort of had the idea of like, what if all of my illustrations were connected somehow in the same world? And so, I started making it so that all of the illustrations I made were part of the Eternal Ruins. And one of the main ideas for it was that it's sort of an infinite place that can house any number of ideas that I could work on it. Sorry. Been talking too much today.
We need you.
I know. That I could keep working on it forever, basically. That there's room to keep adding because of the very nature of the project. So that was a big thing. Sorry, I need water.
Sam, overcome with the intensity of everything.
Yeah.
Sam,
dry throat. yeah, and then I made illustrations, and some of them felt like they were right, and some of them felt like this is cool, but doesn't feel right. And so the things that didn't feel right kind of got left behind, and the things that felt right I took with me onto the next ones. And over time, yeah, things started to emerge, and it's gotten more and more specific. And then, yeah, almost exactly 2 years ago, I thought, okay, I might give making YouTube videos a shot, and I thought I would just put something out and see if it's something people were interested in, but I really thought it was going to take a while to build things up, but instead it sort of there was like a weird window in the algorithm from Monster Garden, I think, where for some reason it just got insane amount of views.
Was that the aftermath of the Monster Garden Dwarves video?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because that got like
Yeah,
insanely big,
yeah.
and that opened up some sort of window for people like myself and the small Brit as well. She also like started her channel at the same time and got the same experience I had, so we both sort of slipped in through there.
It's so funny that dwarf video, because I was talking to Felix the other day, and we both started following Monster Garden because of that dwarf video.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's what got me into. Well, that's what got me exploring YouTube for more world building content, and that's actually how I found you. So,
yeah, so we can thank
thanks, Monster
Simon,
Garden.
yeah, for making the dwarf, because it had such a cool design. And yeah, I think it was watching his videos that I was like, oh, I have a project like this is a thing I could do. Yeah, so that gave me a lot of motivation to do that too. Yeah, and then yeah, I got like a lot of interest, and then yeah, it's grown from there really. Like got the Discord set up and started making more videos, fleshing out the lore, and that helped a lot with solidifying things, because I think for years I'd been kind of letting things be a bit like Schrodinger's cat of like, it could be this or it could be that, and I don't really have to decide just yet. Whereas when I made videos, then I kind of had to make a choice on whether or not something was or wasn't. So yeah, that helped me a lot too. And then
we started asking you questions for the RPG, and we even Schrodinger's cat even further.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and now there are no more questions. No, there's still
now
some.
We have the answers to everything.
Yeah.
Actually, I will say, Rob and Sam, just to break in here, Sam, you are halfway funded. I say we are halfway funded.
Yes, we are,
which is not bad for the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, baby.
I'm just like not looking at it because I'm too afraid, but I'm glad to hear that.
Oh, I am watching it like a hawk. I am no newbie to the Kickstarter rodeo.
No. And we have with us today the first Kickstarter backer for the project.
Mr. Felix. I don't normally get to back the things that I make, because I'm normally there on the page doing all the stuff. But this time, because I was just a writer for it, I was like, I could back this. I could legitimately back this, and I did. So yeah, number one. Of course, it helps being there, knowing exactly when the button is going to be pushed.
Yeah, talking to me, as I said, I just posted it.
Yeah. That's me frantically hammering the button.
Yeah, and then I guess shortly after the YouTube stuff, I got in touch with MythWorks because Felix, you were interested in making an Eternal Ruins game, right?
Yes, yeah. Ray from MythWorks, he had for a long time been trying to drill into me the importance and marketability of solo games, which is a space that I've never really experimented before. I like the idea of them, but they're just not a thing I'd naturally play. And when I found the Eternal Ruins, again, thanks Monster Garden, when I found the Eternal Ruins, I was like, oh, this is A, exactly the kind of world that would work for a solo game, and B, exactly the kind of world that I would be happy to write in, which is very rare for someone like me, because the thing I enjoy most about the writing process is the creativity side of it. And when you're making your own worlds, that creativity is kind of unchained. But I loved what I saw. So I got in touch with Ray, and then Ray luckily listened to me, or we wouldn't be doing this, I guess, and got in touch
Thanks, Ray.
with Sam. Yeah, and also luckily Ray obviously pitched it well enough to you, Sam, that you eventually said yes. Although I understand there was some back and forth, I think.
Yeah, actually, I feel like I don't just say this now. I got a very good impression of you from our first call. That you seem to have a genuine care for the project, even at that point, that I sensed, because I think I mentioned when we talked on another podcast we did that I got a lot of emails and offers and stuff, and some of them like a bit opportunistic, and so I really had to try and dial my radar of like who actually cares about what we're doing. And I think the fact that you'd also made your own world and been through this process helped a lot with that trust. So yeah, I was mostly doing my due diligence, I think, of being like, I shouldn't agree after just one call, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but it did feel right from the get go, which I think is important.
No, that's it's good to hear in retrospect.
Yeah. So that is the start of the Eternal Ruins, and now the last 4 or 5 months we've been working hard on Eternal Ruins, the role playing game. So we've turned it into a game. It's been in
development for a couple of years, but it's been like the main thing for 5-6 months, I think, roughly. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
And yeah, so we've taken the lore from the world and we've strapped it to the Wild Words engine, and you guys have hammered and tweaked it to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Could you guys talk a little bit about that, maybe? Sorry.
Although we also have some questions in the chat, which we should probably answer.
Yes, let's jump to that instead.
Yeah.
Where are they? Or can you read them, maybe?
Yes, at Decagon says, does it just have setting information in case I wanted to use it with 5e or another game system as well? The setting chapter comes first. I think setting for things like the Eternal Ruins, setting is really important, and setting some parameters for that setting is equally important. Could you take bits of the thing wholesale and adapt it to work in a system like 5e? Yeah, 100% if you want to put some work in. But the game itself is definitely made with Wild Words in mind, because Wild Words handles certain things like exploration and camping and stuff very differently, and in a way that fits the world better. The Wild Words engine was made for the Wild Sea in the first place, which is a game all about exploration, so it seemed like a good fit for the Eternal Ruins. Lots of things in it have been tweaked and changed, so it fits better with the world, but definitely a big part of the game is the fact that it runs on a system specifically made for this kind of game, basically.
Good answer.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and you know, the random tables that you use to generate areas when you're exploring the ruins will still work with 5e. But then you're going to have to do a little bit of finagling to adapt the rules of those places to 5e. But I think they're broad enough that you probably could. I would heartily suggest you try playing Wild Words though, because it's great.
Yes, exactly. And I'll say as well, I think towards the last part of the book, where we have all of the different spirits and hazards and demons and servitors, like while they mechanically obviously won't translate to 5e, there is a lot of content in this book for running the Eternal Ruins that I think I would say it's probably the most comprehensive collection of all the stuff from like videos and Patreon posts and things like that all in one place. So it's probably the most useful to have.
Things like the regions as well, which again in the full book there are more regions, tell you a lot about the actual environments and different aspects of the ruins that you can find. So I'm really keen for people to start seeing those.
Yeah. Oh,
same.
Decagon says, I'm down. I'm just convincing my table to try something new, lol. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Rob and
is-
I have both had this experience in the past as well. So,
Completely understand that. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, Triz Azka? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sorry, I see it a lot. Can I ask about the shipping cost? It's my first time backing, so I don't know how it works. I'm in the EU.
Oh, I'm
That's
probably
probably
the wrong
a
person
question
to
more
ask.
for for Lady Tabletop, our amazing producer. But I do know that MythWorks do have distribution hubs in the UK and maybe Germany.
Yeah, we've got one. We've got one in. I say
Yes.
we. I'm an adjunct at best, but there's something in the UK, something in somewhere in Europe. I think it's Germany, maybe, and then obviously the US side of things. Specific shipping costs are very rarely locked in right before shipping is to be done. You'll get ideas of things, but they will be flexible for a while because the global shipping market, as I mean, I've shipped a lot of games over the past 5 years or so. The global shipping market is surprisingly volatile for something that's so core to so many industries.
Here we are. There is actually an FAQ on the actual Kickstarter page. We have warehouses in the US, UK, and Germany. We have fulfillment agreements with Canada, Australia, and New Zealand with our respective partners. So there will be shipping to most of the places, but at the moment we can't give you more details. But they will be shipped from those areas, so they won't be too costly.
I'm just seeing
another question. This one is for you, Sam.
Sorry, just to answer that as well. I saw LT had responded to someone else on Kickstarter that shipping and VAT will be locked in when the campaign closes, so that the costs better reflect the live shipping at the time.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Another question for you. This one from at Felix and Stuff. Great name, by the way. How big will the art book be? Will it fit nicely next to the rule book on a shelf?
Yes. So physically, like dimensions, it's the same as the game book, so that they can fit in the slipcase together, which is the best way to buy the Eternal Ruins role playing. And in terms of page count, I think we've said like 64 plus pages, and that plus is like, we know we can fill 64 pages, but there's probably going to be more. So yeah, I would say that's sort of a lower end guess. Yeah, and it's basically going to be not as narrative or lore focused, more on like the art process of illustrations and drawings. We'll have like full spreads of landscape illustrations as well in the art book, which we can't really fit in the role-playing game. So yeah, it'll be a nice accompaniment to the game, basically.
Cool. The next question we've got is, when is the PDF going to be sent to the pledgers? I'm afraid we probably don't know at the moment. We can give you a rough idea of the later half of 2026, but I think that's down to a MythWorks distribution people question, I'm afraid.
It's one of those things where like, when will we finish the PDF? Oh, we've got a reasonably good idea. When will it end up going through all of the internal checks and balances and editing and proofreading? That's a much more flexible time period, basically. Yeah. Although the beta is available now.
Yes. Yep. Our estimated delivery is August, but
excellent. There you go.
Yeah, I feel we'll be done, but yeah, it is an estimate.
It is mostly, we were talking about this just before stream, it's 99% done. There's just a few things that Felix and I need to finish kicking, and then we can hand it over to our lovely editor and to our cultural sensitivity consultant as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. Most of the full book writing is almost done for you guys. I think the main thing is a lot of the art on my side, which I'm estimating around 3 or 4 months of work for. So yeah, August is like gives us wiggle room, basically. Someone
Maximad
said...
says,
Oh,
"Oh,
yeah,
God, which one are you going to read, Sam?"
No, you go. I was just choosing a random one, so you should do it.
No, I'm just going down. I think it's so. I think Paxmad said when more playtests happen, they will be happening. Yeah, we will try and do some more on the server. It is something I've been wanting to run at some point, and if other people want to run them on the Eternal Ruins Discord, that'd be great because I love seeing other people running games. But I will try and be running some more as well at some point.
Yeah, and some of the most valuable playtesting data does come from people that aren't the designers running the game.
Yeah.
Really, really useful for us.
Yeah, exactly. It would be great
because we know how it works.
I love seeing people's. My favorite thing is people saying what they like their group actually did in the ruins, because sometimes it's just like, yeah, the session went really well and we all had fun, and they're like, that's cool, but give me the story, like what happened, because I think that's really interesting to me. So yeah, if anyone has any stories from playing the game, then please let us know too. But as far as
We've got some great
the actual play we did, I don't think I could handle editing that amount of footage again, so I don't know about that.
We have got some great stories being sent to us through the feedback forms from MythWorks, which is really interesting to read.
Yes.
Some people telling us stories of what they've got up to.
Oh, we missed a question. App Copper Golem 3 says, "Is it cool beans?" Sam, that's for you.
I'm going to go with yes on this one. And that's all I have to say on the matter.
Those beans are indeed cool.
Yes. That's like a 2000s. It feels like stepping back in time. Wow.
At least they didn't say, "Is it 6'7"?
Oh God, no. I don't understand any of that.
I was introduced to this by my 7-year-old nephew the other day.
We're really aging ourselves here, aren't we?
Yeah, let's move on. We're losing them.
Drain 5805 says, "If I can ask, what is your art background? Did you went to an art school or are you self-taught?"
I'm entirely
self-taught. To you, Felix.
No. Sam, hit it.
Yes, I like to say I'm self-taught because I mostly worked hard teaching myself to draw, but I unfortunately can't because I spent a year and a half at a classical art school doing charcoal drawings from life. That was really fun and it did help me improve, but I wouldn't say it helped me do really anything I'm doing now. So I feel like mostly you can teach yourself how to draw. That was mostly like I was interested in doing that specifically because I wanted to do more traditional media at the time. So that is my art background.
Went to university and studied computer game design. I did not use anything I've learned at university.
No. I feel like when I look back on it, it was more like the friends I made along the way, basically. It was great. To like most of my like best friends are people I studied with then, and it was I got exposed to a lot of art, which was really good as well. I don't regret it at all, but I wouldn't say it was like a necessary step for becoming an illustrator.
I ended up getting a master's in like Lovecraft, horror literature, Victorian culture, etc. Which was perfect for the kind of role-playing games I was playing at the time. And then when I became someone who writes role-playing games for a living, I never made a horror game. So
you're like the guy to do it.
Yeah, I've got literal qualifications in it.
Samurai Knight says, "What game, movie, etc. Do you feel gave you the most inspiration?" I know you mentioned Zelda, Ico, Ghibli, etc.
Yeah, definitely it's Fumito Ueda. His games of Team Ico, so Ico, The Lost Guardian, and Shadow of the Colossus. I feel like very strong memories of playing them. I didn't play them as a kid. I played them in my early 20s, but I really had the feeling of like I haven't played anything like this. And then basically since then, I've just every few years would Google like, what's a TV show like Eco, like what's a comic like Eco, like why is there not more media like this, and then yeah, I ended up feeling like, well, I guess I've got to do it. I've got to be the one.
I mean, that's a good attitude, though. I wish that kind of thing happened more often, where you look for something and go like, "What is? I want something. I desperately want something like this." You find out it doesn't really exist, and you go, "Well, then I'm gonna make it," and you take it through to the end. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really the only way you can have the maintained interest to keep doing something as well. It's something you genuinely want to see in the world as a fan, or at least that's helped me a lot.
Well, I think it's I mean, I'm not fairly certain Felix will agree, but for me as well, it's like with all the RPG games I've ever written, it's because I've gone, I really wish there was a game like this that I could play. There isn't, right? Well, I'm going to write it, and it's having that thing of I'm writing something that I would play and want to enjoy myself, and the fact that other people enjoy it is kind of an added bonus. And that's the only way I found to like keep motivation is like building something that I want to see because I'd play it, I'd like it, that kind of thing.
That's exactly how the Wildty got started as well. I wanted a game that ran exactly the way I wanted it to run in the kind of weird fantasy world that I would enjoy, and I couldn't find one, so I made one. It took a long time, but I made one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the best motivation, really. And it sort of removes your ego a little bit as well. Yeah, like you're sort of making something for everyone that you want to see rather than making it about yourself, which I like too.
Would you like another question?
Yeah, let's keep going with the questions. I realized we still have the book, so I just sort of like scrolling a little bit so people can see it. Yeah, no, but it's good with questions. I like it.
Alberito457 says, "What aspect of the book do you think you spent the longest on? Camping, character creation, etc." Rob, I'm going to throw that one to you.
God, I'm trying to remember. There's some. I remember cooking. We sat spitballing for
a long time.
A lot. Yeah, a while. We said, oh, we want to do a cooking system because watching when I first started, when Felix said, work on the Eternal Ruins with me, I sat down and basically just watched all the way through Sam's videos and just made notes. And one of them was like cooking important because there seems to be a lot of videos of cooking, a lot of art of like wanderers making little campfires and cooking. So and I think Felix, you'd already said there has to be some sort of camping thing, and we were saying, well, yeah, like the idea of exploring and then stopping and having this sort of cozy point, which is like, from a D&D point of view, like having a short rest, but we wanted it to be like a mechanical kind of like calm down from the exploration, like a separate game mode. And I think we went back and forth for quite a while going, how do we do cooking? Is it something you can only do when you've completed a region? Can you camp then? Can you camp during a region? And it was I think it was the combined camping cooking thing. We really bounced around for a while to try and settle on how it works. What does it do to your wanderers? Is it something you have to do? What happens if you don't do it? And that kind of thing. And it sort of very much evolved over like a series of conversations. I think we dragged Sam in as well, sort of going, oh, here's our ideas about cooking, didn't we?
Yeah. It's one of the things. Cooking was an early idea for something which would have its own important subsystem / part of the game, because the Eternal Ruins RPG focuses on small wanderer groups mostly, whereas the Eternal Ruins video series is very much, well, there are meetings and the occasional bit of people traveling together. Most of the time it is solo travel, and cooking is one of those like quiet meditative things that you do alone. So we knew that we would have to bring in a slightly more social aspect to the RPG, and cooking is a naturally potentially social experience, so it worked really well. I think we hammered out most of the cooking rules before the rest of camping, really, I think, at the end of the day.
Yeah, and it went through a couple of iterations because I remember the early version of cooking is that one person cooked while everyone else did stuff. And then we were like, actually, we wanted to make it more of a group activity. And so we then sort of went back and overhauled how it worked a little bit. So it's assumed that all the wanderers sit down and cook together and sort of really make it like a focus of the whole group.
Yeah, I really like the cooking rules. I feel like every time we've played the game, it always ends up being like a highlight of the creativity of everyone putting in these really random ingredients and then trying to figure out what that makes is really fun.
I think fantasy world cooking is one of the nicest creative spaces because everyone has the basic idea of how to cook, but may not know, like, have the specific skills to do it or have the experience to do it. In fantasy world cooking, you can't really go wrong there. So you can go, yeah, I want to throw in a basilisk egg and then use some of this stone we found from this pillar. And the GM can go, yeah, that might work. And then you just got to go from there.
I think one of the first playtests we did, we had like mice tails or something. It just sounded horrendous.
Yeah.
Oh, good times.
Paxmad has said, unrelated to the ER question, have any of you played Deltarune or Undertale? That's a no from me. I'm aware of both of them. I have not played them.
Yeah, that's a no from me as well. I know what both of them are. I do particularly like Megalovania, the track. I think it's an amazing bit of music, but I haven't actually played Undertale. And I know very little about Deltarune, actually.
Yeah, but I'm interested because I see them mentioned a lot in the Discord community, so I will probably like it if you guys like it. To be honest, it always seems to be like that, so I should check it out.
I'm going to try and pronounce it. The Fefurek says, congrats on the launch. Have you considered releasing the game in different languages too, or is that something far beyond the horizon for now? I think that's probably far beyond the horizon for now. Translating games it's surprising how much work has to go into translation, because game terms that make sense in English, if you translate them literally, sometimes it lose meaning, and so other times they take on meaning you didn't plan. And finding a translator who is also a role player is quite a feat. But so it's definitely something that MythWorks might be open to. But I think for now it's a. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah. I actually have experience with this because the Wild Sea was translated into Italian a couple of years ago, and actually won Game of the Year at an Italian games show that year, which I was very happy with. So props to the translation team on that one. But the hardest part I found of the translation process is, unless you speak both languages yourself, you are having to rely on people and their understanding of your world, working across two separate languages. Sometimes meaning gets lost and sometimes meaning gets added, which is just as dangerous is the wrong word, but it's just as important, I suppose, to be aware of. Because word choice is such an important thing when it comes to RPGs, especially with mechanics. Luckily, Grumpy Bear, the translation house that did the Wild Sea one, they were fantastic. They kept me very involved in the process of the translation, which was really nice. But one of the things that I found the most interesting was when they had to change the name of the game.
So what is Wild Sea in Italian then?
No, in English it's The Wild Sea. In Italian it's Wild Sea. Because as they pointed out, if you just translated the Wild Sea into the Wild Sea in Italian, it loses a lot of the punch that the Wild Sea has in English, just because of the sound profile. So they were like, would you be open to just calling it Wild Sea? And I'm like, yeah, I guess so. And they were so relieved. I didn't realize at the time how big a thing it was for them to give it a slightly different name that would better appeal to the Italian market. Because that's something else. There are different cultural and linguistic things that are attractive or concerning or would turn people on or off a game. It's a complex business, translating an RPG. I think it's really cool when it happens, but yeah, it's not easy.
Should we go for the next question? Where were we? So many people are commenting. I'm losing my place.
Yeah. Does the
Lyra
book
H.
include information? Oh no, sorry.
No, go on.
Jack Dev 1232. Does the book include information on what sprites taste like?
You have to find out.
No. Well, does it? Yeah.
Wow.
See, Sam, you were saying that when sprites beat people up when they try and drink them. I've received that sketch you sent me.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. I mean, we do
Don't
have
drink
cooking
Sprites, it's
rules,
bad.
so I mean,
As we pointed out, there's cooking rules, and you can pick up dewlets as ingredients.
that's true. So almost. What else?
I do like our MythWorks support. MythWorks is pointing out bottled Sprite, canned Sprite, fountain Sprite. Each has a different flavor profile. Yeah,
very true.
That's true. Yeah.
Don't drink Sprites. They don't like it.
You found a question, Rob.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lyra H 2000 says super excited about this RPG. I'm curious. I read Susanna Clarke's novel Piranesi, and I see a lot of similarities with the labyrinthine world and the ruins. Have you read it?
I have.
Felix.
I'll let Sam answer this first, obviously, but
yes, I have, and it's amazing. But I read it after I started the project, because the one really good effect of putting the project out there was then people would be like, oh, it reminds me of this. Have you read this? So I feel like Piranesi and Blam as well, the manga, were two that I didn't know about, but read after starting and was like, wow, this is so cool. Because especially since I'd made this project, because I wanted more things like this, I was like very happy. But yeah, Piranesi is amazing book, and tried not to let it like inform what I did too much, but I really enjoyed it. Yeah. Felix, you have something to share for Piranesi?
Yeah, it's in my list of top 10 books that I've ever read. I think it's a fantastic book. Well written, great story. I won't spoil anything here, but if you like the vibes of the Eternal Ruins and don't mind a dash of sadness, Piranesi, great book.
Yes.
I've not read it. I'm aware of it. It's actually on my reading list.
I've got a copy on my shelf right behind me.
Yeah, you should read it, Rob.
I've read the Précis, and it sounds very interesting. It reminds me, whether this is accurate or not, it sounds a bit like House of Leaves.
I haven't read House of Leaves, but I know about it, and it seems,
I've also read House of Leaves, and as someone who was a literature student, it is, of course, also in my top 10. Stylistically, there aren't that many similarities, but in terms of the tone of how some of the stuff is written and the way information is revealed throughout, yes, it does have some stuff in common with House of Leaves, definitely.
Trujika has said, have you heard of our Lord and Saviour, Moss the Eternal Ruins?
I also saw we have another comment that says, will the Moss Church be included? And it's like, well, actually, one of the stretch goals perhaps has moss themed group, possibly. So you'll just have to find out.
Not all the stretch goals. There are two stretch goals currently on there, and more will be revealed as backing increases. So it's a really good reason to keep backing, because the more we get, the more stretch goals get added, and there are some really cool ones.
Yeah.
Just so you know, as you were saying that, I was watching the Kickstarter page, and we had like a $1,500 bump over the last 15 seconds. I don't know if it's related to what you're saying, because there's a slight time delay between the stream and YouTube, but that would be incredibly amusing if it was.
The Moss cult are they're known for their deep wealth.
Let's have a look. Is the Eternal Ruins entirely D6 based?
Do you want to answer that?
Is it entirely D6 based?
Yes, sort of, technically. It's D6 and then occasionally D66 based, but a D66 is just rolling 2 D6s and reading them off in order. So yeah, it is. Some of my other games, especially work in progress projects at the moment, are not D6 based. They use the whole panoply of dice. But when I'm trying to make something that is accessible to the largest amount of people, especially people who are newer to role-playing games, which I think was one of our things for this, is that because this came from a world-building project and not an originally a world-building, not originally a role-playing game source, we wanted accessibility to be there as well. I think D6s are the most accessible die to use for things. Doesn't mean they are always the best, and I love particularly D4s because you can step on them and hurt yourself. But yeah, I am a big fan of D6s and D6 dice pool systems in general. I think are very cool because you can do a lot of things with a dice pool. It's not just roll and read. You can do a lot of things with them.
Yeah, I personally just like taking a handful of dice as well, so I like D6 dice pools for that reason too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a Warhammer player when I was younger, so I love having a big bucket of D6.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So was I. Well, I was a Warhammer 40k player. So
I was Warhammer. Well, I was Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000. I was Skaven and then Chaos Space Marines.
I was also Nurgle, so it's amazing how our distant pasts sync up in some ways. I was Nurgle and then Tau, because no Tau, they're great.
At least you didn't say Dark Eldar. That's fine.
That was my very first army. I just didn't stick with them for long because a friend of mine also collected Dark Eldar and his collection was bigger, so I moved to something else. Basically. It was because of when I started playing, if anyone of my particular age who was also British and played Warhammer 40k is listening, then you will probably have the exact same experience. My basic first two army choices was between Dark Eldar and the Black Templars because that was what was being sold in the most accessible starter set of the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Another Eternal Ruin question. I probably started about Warhammer. Where had we got to?
Paxmad.
Mossitel. Okay.
I think you've already answered this question, but after the TTRPG, will the ER continue to be their own thing?
Yes, absolutely. That's the plan. Like the ultimate
no, it's
vision
ours
is...
now.
Yeah, exactly. I've signed over the rights to meet Mythos.
No, don't even say that as a joke. God.
No, I have not. That is a joke. We are making the game, and my plan is to continue making Eternal Ruins media, basically, and yeah, whatever that will be. I would love to do a comic to tell a story in the ruins in the future. So yeah, focusing on this now, but I'm not going anywhere with this project. I really like it, so I'm gonna keep making stuff for it. Yes.
Flying pig.
Yeah, flying pig. The Eternal Ruins takes place in an infinite building. Do you have any special love for megastructures and media featuring them? I'm assuming that's for you, Sam.
Yes, absolutely. Like I said, I think I was reading Blam after I'd already started the project that I became more aware of, like, I guess the concept of like a megastructure and different fiction that had it. But yeah, I do love the idea of impossibly large spaces. So yeah, yes, absolutely.
There's a very cool RPG called Nibiru, which is really niche, but I love it. The artwork's fantastic, and it's set on a supermassive solar collector orbiting a dying star that it's so big it generates its own gravity, and you are people that have been abandoned at the center of this giant space station, and you're trying to like find your way around. It's really weird, but it's very cool, like superstructure, giant weird stuff. So yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah,
I
think it's like a concept that appears a lot more in sci-fi. Yeah, so yeah, like something I definitely felt was like that I would want more kind of like a fantasy leaning thing like that.
Was it Isaac Clarke came up with the idea of the big dumb object, which is the scientific the sci-fi sort of idea of like this, it's the whale probe in Star Trek flies into a star system and does its thing. A very Rendezvous at Rama, which is like a planet-sized space station flies into a system and people get on it, and it's this
Mm.
whole world within it. Yeah, I love the idea of structures that contain structures that contain structures.
Yeah. Like random reference as well, but like Hyperion, I feel like kind of had a little bit like that too. Yeah, I like anything with a giant structure, especially if it has some like mystery to it.
Yeah, it's like the idea of like something built this a long time ago and it's breaking down, or was it, did it mean to do this? Was it always meant to do this? Which is one of the things I love about the Eternal Ruins, and one of the things I was really keen to write about is like the idea of there's a lore here, but it's so old, no one really understands it, and like vague hints that maybe aren't even that very helpful because they're so obtuse, kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. I was going to say structures. I'm going to give a completely different kind of answer and say I just like apartment buildings, especially really tall ones, because most of the places I've grown up, I've never lived above the second or third floor. Now I've gone wild. I'm living on the fourth floor. So, yeah. But I just like big, tall buildings. There you go. So
nice.
Our Sloths says, does this system reward innovation when it comes to creativeness of the story you tell, or is that up to the discretion of who's playing at the time?
All Wild Word games are, to an extent at least, fiction first. Innovation is something which I think should be rewarded in role-playing games. The rules are there to give the framework for play and to tell people this is how you do X, but they do not tell you this is, or they very rarely tell you, I should be completely clear about that. They very rarely tell you this is the only way you can do X. Innovation is, I think, one of the most important things for role-playing games in general, and all Wild Words games, the Wild Sea, Pico, and the Eternal Ruins RPG are built with that in mind.
This isn't a question, I'm just going to point this one out. Sack471997 says, I'm so happy that I just managed to get my hands on the last Wanderer cameo pack. Nice one.
Oh, congratulations. Nice.
So all the Wanderer illustrations are now snapped up.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, and you're at $35,000, Sam. So you are just a bit over 3/5 of the way there.
Nice.
That's crazy. Damn.
Within the first hour and a half.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. I'm just not looking at it.
Someone else has asked, will the Moss Church? Oh, sorry, Sam.
No, yeah, I'm just not looking at it. I'm just looking through the playtest as we talk. Yeah.
Someone else has asked, will the Moss Church be included? If you didn't hear earlier, unlock further stretch goals. There might be something interesting in there.
No promises.
No promises. I love how the Moss Church is the thing that people are so obsessed with.
Yeah, and for context, that's when I streamed once. I think I just left for a short break and then came back, and people were just only writing like praise the Moss or something, just like everyone, and I was like, I leave for like 5 minutes and like a cult forms, and then that kind of just stuck, I guess, on the Discord and became a whole thing. Yeah.
It's one of my favourite things as a games master is when I'm running a game and I make an offhand comment and then the players take it and run with it and come up with their own lore, convinced that that's what I was hinting at the whole time, and I'm like, yep, that's much better than what I was writing. Of course, that was my plan the whole time.
Yes. That never happens with this project, though.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I'm doing all the time. I have a question for you guys.
Wait, is that us or them?
You two, Felix and Rob.
Okay.
I want to know which is your favorite aspect out of all of them in the book.
Oh, aspect, as
yeah,
in,
like
capital A aspect.
Yeah, capital A aspect.
I don't even need to check the book. I know this one off by heart. It's the kite. It's the Rascal's kite. I think that is my favorite aspect. It's a silly
yeah.
aspect, but I love it.
I think that was one that you put it in and then we took it out and then you put it back in again because we weren't sure if it worked.
Yeah.
Mm.
It got in there and then it was taken out and then somehow it just made its way back in. No idea how it happened. But yes, for everyone that hasn't got the PDF in front of them, um, the Spring Wing Kite is a 2-track piece of gear, a marvelous but finicky bit of kit. This kite unfolds automatically when thrown. Once per scene, you may make a luck roll to throw the kite. On a 5 or 6, you make a prodigious leap and land safely without rolling. On a 4 or 3, you make the same leap but land hard, adding a mark to your fallout gauge. And on a 2 or 1, the kite fails to catch the breeze and flops sadly onto the ground. When used in windy conditions, re-roll results of 1 or 2. It's just for me. It's part of that archetypal rascal thing, the Eternal Ruins, which is just it's a kid with a kite, but it's somehow a lot more dangerous and a lot weirder.
Yeah, I really like the that with everything with the rascal path actually, but capturing that childish nature of the wanderers, because a lot of the time they're fairly adult in terms of how they act, but the rascal definitely feels like playing a kid, which I like.
Yeah, there is a reason that more than half of my characters for Eternal Ruins have been rascals.
Yes.
It's I just love it. It was the first new like character idea I came up with that wasn't based specifically on something that Sam had given me as a writer. So I have a particular love for it as a path anyway, as a character option, because it's my first bit of Eternal Ruins that really bears the Felixy stamp, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I feel like when I saw it the first time, it was like such a nice feeling of like, this is like something I never would have made, but it like fits completely in place, which is yeah, so great to see. And then I feel like there's just been more of that. So
yeah,
I think it's like it was the first bit of artwork you did for the RPG was the Rascal Wanderer as well, which was just we were like me and Felix were like yes,
yeah.
yep.
Actually, do you want to find the Rascal page, Sam? Is it?
I'm on it. I'm on it. Yeah, I've been showing.
Oh, okay.
I
I have.
talking.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not playing my thing. I should. Yeah.
I just see Root Broken. I think your stream's a little bit behind.
Okay. Yeah. Weird.
Yes. Perfect. It's on.
Although you're currently hovering over my favorite on the stream, which is Root Broken. Their aspect Old Dreams.
Yes.
Which I really like because I wrote Root Broken and I really like the Root Broken. And Old Dreams is that sort of tapping into like the slightly weirder side of things, which is always my jam. And the idea that wanderers maybe can remember stuff from when they were in their statue, and that allows them a sort of a weird kind of group memory, I don't know, or genus Loki, to kind of know stuff about the ruins by kind of tapping into this sort of strange sense. And it just sort of makes wanderers a little bit more than just, hapless children. There is something they can tap into something more.
Yeah, I also really like Old Dreams. You guys.
What's your favorite, Sam? Not to put you on the spot.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I really like the sort of witchy aspect of some of the Root Broken aspects with like the experimental infusions ones and Old Dreams and Deep Whispers as well. That you could potentially play quite a witchy character with those. I really like.
Yeah, and that was kind of the part of the thing I was going with all of the paths and origins. I don't think we ever really set out to make them like, oh, this is definitely, this class or anything like that. But with the Root Broken, it was definitely if I wanted to play a sort of a witch or a druid, it's the one I kind of envision slightly as being more sort of in that linked with one of the paths from the full version, which I won't mention. There is definitely, you could build a definite very druid wanderer if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, are we allowed to say that we let's talk about things in the full version?
I think so. I mean, we've shown some of them in the actual play we did, and I mean the Kickstarter's up, so like when would we? This seems like a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a good
It's quite
point.
interesting
In that
seeing
case,
people, the keen-eyed people who are watching the demo game we put up and going, oh, "That's new, that's new."
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I would say one of my other favorite aspects. I suppose I'm cheating slightly here because I'm choosing two that I wrote. Rob, this is not a reflection on you whatsoever.
That's
Your
fine,
aspects are
that's
lovely.
fine,
But no, it is the Rescriptors Oozing Manipulator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which is a servitor's arm worn partially over one of your own, kept in something approaching working order. I won't spoil the specific effects of it, but a servitor is one of my favorite bits of the Eternal Ruins. It's one of the things that really hooked me early on, and I'm glad I got to create the Rescriptor, a path that I shall not describe, but that you can imagine for now that might be something related to servitors.
Oh, yeah, Sai played one in the playtest demo. So there is.
Yes, I just don't want to give too much away. I don't want to spoil too much.
Yeah.
And again, it's like similarly, Sam played my other favorite one that's hidden, which is the Curse Broken Origin, which I love them because they're little edgelords.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think from my favorite aspect, it would either be the one from the Curse Broken. What was the name of it? I don't have it up. Where you can essentially like pass on curse damage to other people in the party. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I remember reading that and being
bad
like,
luck might follow you, but it doesn't affect you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like to be almost like a jinx of the group in a way that I can imagine being very fun. And the other one would, just because I think I've mentioned it before, but the Willowwood Ocarina for the Mass Broken. When I read that first, that you spend despair to play a tune that invigorates your allies, I was like, that's so cool. Because I don't think we'd sort of explored yet, like using despair for positive things. Yeah, and I felt thematically like that's really nice. I like that a lot, and I love a good ocarina.
Yeah,
yes,
Zelda,
yeah.
So yeah.
My reference for that was weirdly is the end credits to Inuyasha.
Wow.
When one of the characters is playing an ocarina, and I was like, oh yeah, because it's like a really mournful thing.
Nice, yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Do
we have any questions from the chat? Yeah.
Mitch Cosine said, I'm having a hard time grokking the gameplay loop from the Kickstarter. What are some of the vibes of gameplay?
Yeah. Do you guys want to take that?
I think you should take that, Sam, because we're the designers. Like, sure. we can just spin anything and pretend it's real, but you played it. Like, that's a different thing.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
not to put you on the spot or anything.
But so what's kind of like how the average session goes, essentially?
I think what's the sort of the loop? Yeah. So
I would say most sessions we played will start with us being in a region of the ruins that will have some unique properties, and I mean, we've played with more of a story focus where we've been sent by a spirit somewhere, and we've played just wandering and seeing where we can go, basically. And basically each time you journey, you will generate a random new place that always seems to produce some shenanigans, essentially, in my opinion. You'll even because when we played and we had a plan of like, oh, we're going to try and go to this type of location, then the first thing we rolled was a relic vault. We were like, well, we've got to try and open that up. So I think just the mechanics of the game, in my opinion, make for story to just sort of happen as you play. So yeah, you go to these locations, you explore them. Sometimes there are encounters with both peaceful entities and dangerous entities. And then at the end of the day, it is recommended that you cook some food and have these camping scenes to take care of yourselves, your gear, work on projects. So sort of exploration in the day, and then these cozy camping scenes by the night. And the last playtest we did, we tried having a bit more like damage on our characters from the get-go to see how that works. And I felt like that was very different tone when we came to the camping stage, because then it really felt like trying to scrape whatever recovery we could get during the camping part, which felt really nice too.
Definitely increased tactical choice making in that one.
Yeah, exactly.
I really enjoyed that game. That was really good fun.
Yeah, I want to play that again if we can, because I enjoyed that.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
I'm happy to. Happy to continue the tale of trying to make your own bathhouse.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And I would say it's very player driven. Like in that game, Felix decided that his character really wanted to make was it a broken fountain we found?
It was a broken down fountain, yes.
And we were like, could we make this into a bathhouse? Even though this is a game about exploring an infinite ruins, could we settle here and turn this into like a permanent spot? So I think the system's open enough creativity that works as well, which is nice.
Yeah. It's called stress testing, Sam.
But it's something I've noticed.
I certainly didn't do it on a whim.
But it's something I really like, that you kind of push the boundaries of stuff even you've made, which I think is I can't explain it. Like it's really I respect it a lot.
One of the most important things.
Yeah, it's for you. It seems like the most fun place to be is like you create the boundaries and then be like, how close to the edge can I go? And I really like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, sorry, Rob. No, Rob.
No, I was going to say, it's something as an RPG designer, it's always amusing to see when you run playtests, seeing how players manage to break or try to break and then subsequently break the system in places, and then you go, right, okay, we need to add a rule for that, because it's always things that you never anticipate.
Yeah. But do you guys
one of my earlier WildSea playtests, after I'd just done, I got finished making all the WildSea ship rules for the WildSea core book, and I finally got to play through them for the first time as a player rather than as the GM. And the first thing I did was try and make a submarine. And I knew because I'd written them recently. I knew they did not support that, but I just wanted to know, how effective could I be? How close could I get? And how would a GM that is not me handle dealing with a system that I know is not perfectly made for that, but that supports adjacent activities? And a few years later, we ended up having a submarine expansion. So,
should we field some more questions?
Yes, go for it.
I've got a quick one here. Someone said, in the actual play, you mentioned rules that weren't yet in the beta. Are those rules reserved for the final release only? I think that's a yes. That's a simple answer. The full book has a lot more rules for various things. I'm not sure which ones we mentioned, but if there was, we were running the actual play from the full game, not from the beta. As a little taste of some things. I think they visited some locations. They generated some fragments that you definitely wouldn't have seen yet.
But it's worth saying that is like content, mostly like places you can go, things you can interact with, origins and paths. But the core rules are already available in the playtest.
Yeah, the beta is everything you need to play, and you can play a full game of the Eternal Ruins with no problems with the beta. The full game just adds more stuff, more places you can go, more things you can find, more origins and paths you can play, and some amazing artwork from Sam.
Yeah,
Lots of amazing artwork. Too much artwork where we've occasionally gone to Sam, we need something for this, and he's just like, oh no.
Yes. One of my favorite things about working this project has been going, Sam, you're really good at art. We need you to make this. Look at this. Look at this space on the page that we've conveniently left. Wouldn't it be wonderful if that got filled with some art? Hint, hint.
One of my favorite things is finding sketches that Sam was very sort of like, oh, I don't like my sketches, we shouldn't use them, and then we've started using them, and now we've convinced Sam that his sketches are good.
Yes. They're good sketches. They just
it was more like
I
think they were made for like a very low res Patreon page at the time, so I was like, is that good? But yeah, I've come around.
Yeah, they look. My favorite one is in the full book. It's my favorite page in the full book, which I'm not sure we're allowed to talk about. Well, I suppose we said, are we allowed to talk about it?
Yeah.
Give some detail, but not all. There you go.
The very large servitor.
Yes.
That is ruined.
Actually, I think that artwork's been shown in
Yeah.
one of the videos on the Servitor videos. So yeah, I mean, I think that's okay. Yeah.
But yes, the ruined Titan page is my favorite page in the whole book. I think I love it, and it's very simple, but it just hints a lot at the history of the ruins and also the larger things beyond it. Not beyond the ruins, but like what the ruins can encompass, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that is the perfect time for the next question. Frankie969 says, first time kickstarting something. I'm super excited. Wishing for success. Thank you, Frankie. As a question, without ruining the mystery, is there a canon answer in your minds for what the Eternal Ruins actually are? I am gonna not answer this one yet. I'm gonna hop away for a few minutes because I don't even want it spoiled by Rob and Sam's answer to this. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Rob and Sam, feel free to tackle this question.
Just left.
Well, I'm going to look at Sam. I'm afraid I'm going to cop out and just go, Sam.
Sam, feel free to tackle this question.
All right, bye guys. For me, I have my own lore of the ruins and the things that we don't see on the public facing side. I have my own reasons and world building for but I want to say I don't think I'll ever show it, which I like the idea that it's felt rather than known. I know some people prefer to know absolutely every aspect of a setting, like it's a puzzle box, like the point of this is that it needs to be solved and then I can be satisfied with it and move on, whereas for me I like mystery, and I see the draw for me is more the stories that can be told in the setting rather than the stories being about needing to get to the bottom of things. So for me, that I think will always be more of like secondary detail where I can hint at things rather than explain them. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I am curious. Like... I am curious, Rob, if you have your own headcanon for it.
I honestly, with certain settings, again, I prefer not to know. I like the idea of just going, well, there is this broader mystery, but let's not worry about it. It's there's a phrase I like from a LARPing system I'm in, which is that's below the abstraction layer. It's like there's the immediate stories you tell as wanderers are their day-to-day struggles. There's a spirit that they need a favor from, so they've got to go to a demon's shrine and find a thing, and how do they sneak past the demon and then get back to the spirit? That's the thing that's important to them. The ruins are the setting of that story, but where the ruins came from, how the servitors, how are they made, why were they made, isn't important to the wanderer's journey. And most of the wanderers will never, even if they do think where the ruins come from, they're never going to really find out. So it's leaving those as the unknown I actually enjoy, because it's as soon as you give someone an answer, they're like, oh, that wasn't what I was expecting. Whereas if you say, well, who knows, then it gives you a wealth of possibilities and different avenues to tell stories. So whenever I write settings, I never fully fledge them out. Even if I've got an idea in my head, I'll write it down, but mostly for maintaining consistency in how I then write other parts of the setting. But I rarely like giving the full complete answer, because the answered question is, once you've answered it, there's no more questions.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the reasons why
I'm back. I can answer now as well.
Okay, if I can just say that it's one of the reasons why the videos are from a wanderer's perspective. There's something with world building where when it's explained from the outside, it's sort of like a god level view of absolutely everything that I don't find as immersive personally. So I like more what would they actually know? And I also like the contrast of these kids, for example, like camping under a giant broken servitor, being like, we don't really know why it's like that, but that's also not really like my immediate problem either. Felix.
Oh god, yeah. Felix, do you want to chime in, or?
I think it's in a big fish.
You got me.
I think the Eternal Ruins is in a big stone fish that curls in around itself forever. That's my personal theory. It's held up by absolutely nothing in the world or world building, but that's my personal theory, and I can't be proven wrong.
Nice.
Just imagining realizing that everything you've written fits with that.
Oh no! That's why he went on about the fish cult on page 67. Oh.
Yes, and the fish's name is Bailu.
Let's do another question.
That does count. Yeah. We've got someone did ask, which I thought was quite interesting.
Oh, sorry, Rob. Just before you start, we have just hit 40k.
Ooh, wow. Wait, is that
in the grim, dark, far future of the 41st millennium? There are only Eternal Ruins.
Eternal Ruins. Nice.
Oh my god, we're so close.
Ars Clothes, or Ars Sloths, I don't know, says, another thing I was wondering, is it that all characters are born from stone, but does the type of stone have any impact on the resulting characters that could give advantages and disadvantages? Sam?
No. All of the wanderers are born from... I'm going to be direct.
Someone's had no improv training. What about this? No.
Yes, and I mean, I don't want to mislead either. The wanderers awaken from sleeping statues that are identical, essentially, in their design. But the place that the wanderers awaken, or the circumstances they awakened in, do end up being their origin, which is one of the things you can choose in the game to customize your wanderer. So awakening near water is the bank broken, so you have more of an affinity for splashing around and fishing. Bridge broken, awakening on a bridge, and being able to jump off stuff and see things from afar. Mass broken, awakening among many other statues and benefiting from things left behind and a sense of belonging to many other wanderers, the social butterflies of wanderers, I would say. And the root broken, awakening in an overgrown area, and having, like I said before, some witchy aspects available, and also some very tough, literally, but also I don't know, wild aspects, I would say. Yeah. And we have many more in the full book.
We've got four others in the full version, which I think in the actual play we had Soma being a deep broken, and Atty being a curse broken. So those have been mentioned.
Yeah. Another question. Oh, unless you're about to say one, Rob.
No. Go on.
I was going to say, nuked _ lol says, will there be more items, feats, or places that allow you to interact with the ruins like Old Dreams and Deep Whispers? And this one, we can do the opposite of the past answer and go, yes.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to take this
Yeah,
one? Just my brain is fried from too many questions in a row.
There's one path which I hinted at before. So they're called the Shepherd, and the Shepherd is two. If the Deep Broken is the origin, then the Shepherd is the path. The Shepherd is a conduit between nature and wanderers. So their path is to embrace the animals and the plants, and they've definitely got some aspects that allow you to do weird stuff, interact with the ruins, and yeah, that's my answer. And there are others as well. There's some great paths and origins which allow you to interact, but the Shepherd is my kind of choice for that.
Yeah. Sci-Fi French Fry asks, do you have a favorite example of a specific rule you had to add because of something a playtester did? I do, and it's not actually something we had to add. It's something we had to change quite dramatically, was the initial power of cooking.
Yes.
Yes.
We may have lent a little too hard into how powerful cooking can be, because it has to be good, like, or what's the point, right? But yeah, we may have made it a little bit too good in the earliest versions, and for our own playtest and some of the playtest feedback we received, it was like, hey, you can kind of cook incredible stuff with not that many ingredients as long as you've got some good cookware. And it's like, yeah, that might be may have made that a little bit too impactful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is one for you, Felix. This was earlier up. Zipper Fist. I just came in. Sorry if this is already covered. Is this a Forged in the Dark game, or does it have its own system?
No, it's a Wild Words game, which is its own system. I get questioned about this a lot, and I never feel bad about them because Blades is such an amazing game. And the Forged in the Dark genre of games is fantastic. I'm very happy to be often mistakenly put in the same category. But the Wild Sea, which is what the Wild Words engine was originally made for, existed before Blades was a thing. And it went through a lot of rules iterations back then as well. However, although it is not Forged in the Dark in terms of the kind of basic way it unfolded or was made for the most part, the final bit that clicked into place was specifically thanks to Blades in the Dark, and that was the dice system. Before, it always used a dice pool system, but it was a combination of D12s and D6s. Cut already existed, as did a few other die mechanics. And then I hadn't read Blades at that point, but I was listening to the Six Towers early playtest of Blades in the Dark, back when murder was still a Blades skill, which I absolutely loved. Yeah, that was a good time. And in that, as they were rolling during this playtest, I couldn't see the rules written mechanically, but I could hear how they played, and I was like, that is exactly the kind of roll experience for the dice that I want. So I ended up just kind of nicking that, not wholesale. I just adapted the basic 6-5-4-3-2-1 split, and used that for my existing die system, and discarded the D12s, obviously. So it was a bit of a happy accident there at the end. But I did, I said this on podcast before, I did though, just in case, send a message off to John Harper and go like, oh, excuse, I've done this thing. It's not actually inspired by Blades, but I have nicked a bit of the dice. Does that count as Forged in the Dark? And they themselves said, no, if it's not made with the SRD, then it's not Forged in the Dark. And I was like, thank you. But I always make sure to have Blades in the Dark listed as an influence because it's such an amazing game. And the Wild Sea and the Wild Words engine wouldn't be the same if it didn't exist.
Have you seen Blades 68?
Yes, I'm quite interested in it, especially as a thing that's written with, as far as I understand, John Harper in consultation rather than as the main writer.
Yeah. Which, for people who aren't aware, Blades in the Dark is you play Victorian-ish criminals in a city that's very sort of, it's whale punk. It's dark and gothic and weird. It's very like the Dishonored computer games. Blades 68 is bright and vibrant, and you play super spies in the sexy 60s, and it's really weird, but I really like the look of it for such a departure, but using the same engine.
I need to look more at that.
Where were we? Sorry?
I need to look more at Blade 68 because the
It's
idea sounds
it's
crazy.
only just come out.
Okay,
They did some teasers for it. Yeah.
nice.
We had. I have a question about the books. Says Idle Wild Wind. How will they be bound, glued, or sewn? I don't think we
Sewn,
can
I
answer
believe.
that.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
probably shouldn't be the one to answer. So if someone from
Yeah, I'm afraid
Mythworks is
that
listening,
things like that would be better to send your question to MythWorks, as they are the ones who are more directly involved in the actual production of the books.
Although I can give some information based on the fact that I have had 1, 2, 3 big books published with MythWorks before, and 4 smaller supplements. Every single book I have still has all of its original pages, and some of those books have been all over the world. So, however they bound it, it worked.
that's
Now, I could go
reassuring.
and grab my Wild Sea book off the shelf and see if I can identify the binding, but
I mean, I've got a Wild Sea, but I've got 3 Wild Sea books within arm's reach.
I've just been handed my foil embossed Wild Sea Collector's Edition.
Oh, I love that book. I mean, obviously, I love that book. I made it.
I can't tell. No, I'm afraid
You can't tell because it's so high quality.
So good. It's still got all its lovely golden foil embossing on it. It's a lovely book. Yeah. So I am really looking forward to like the special edition of the Eternal Ruins book. The deluxe edition looks pretty sexy.
Yes. So that will be embossed and foil. Yeah, which should be super nice. Mythworks says sewn in the chat, so that's the answer.
There you go. Thank you. Nice. Cool. Yeah, sewn backing, very very durable. I can say that because I used to work in a printer.
Hey. Haxamad says, how well do you think that the TTRPG captivates the Eternal Ruins' feel? In my opinion, it does its job pretty well, but I'd like to learn your opinions. I think this is probably mainly a question for Sam in that way, because obviously it's your world that's been role-playing gameized. But I think I can... And Rob, you might want to throw something in here as well. I think a big part of making it for me, writing it for me, was trying to capture the right feeling. And that was so important to the process. So hopefully we've done it well. But that is obviously Sam and the audience. They get the final say on whether we've done it well or not.
Yeah, I would say so, of course. I feel like playing the game has been such a treat to, I don't know, like, feel almost like a full immersion in the world I've built. But yeah, I feel like the contrast of cute and cozy and dark and serious, I feel like you guys like nailed it there. That it feels like in the same session we played, for example, that we're like stealing honey from bees and then also like I don't know, dealing with like curse damage and depression. So I don't know. I really like the I feel like that key contrast is there, and I feel like all of the all the past and origins and the places we've made really feel like an extension of the ruins for me. So absolutely.
Good.
I mean, that's good to hear for us.
Yes,
no,
you nailed it. Don't worry.
Because Sam has been so involved, it's not like Felix and I just went off, wrote this, and came back and went, "Here's the Eternal Ruins TTRPG." You know, Sam was involved from the very beginning, and we would sit there on Discord calls, just going, "Right, Sam, you know, I think." Did we come up with the idea of origins and paths as a snap together, Felix? And then we kind of went to Sam, and then together me, and Sam basically went, right, what would the origins be? What would the paths be?
Yes.
I think that's kind of how the flow went, wasn't it? And quite quickly, Sam was like, yeah, that works. And we were like, right, what would the origins be? Okay, so river, mass, route, bridge. And then I think there was one, we did float one called Sprite Broken, which never actually saw the light of day in the end. But that did get turned into something else.
Yeah, I was going to say, it came through in a different way.
into
So,
an envoy. Yeah. But yeah, so it's, Sam has been involved all the way along. So which is why hopefully it kind of echoes the Eternal Runes as closely as it does.
Yeah, true.
Samurai Knight says, since Zelda was helped inspire the setting, will we see any Easter eggs with Zelda in any of the games or books? Felix, will we see any Zelda Easter eggs?
That's such a perfect question. Wow.
That is a perfect question. I am an absolutely massive Legend of Zelda fan, which is probably one of the reasons I like the Eternal Runes so much early on. It does share some particular vibes with the Legend of Zelda series. Do I have permission to read something from?
Yes.
It's not even in the working PDF of the final version. This is from the secret running log document that Rob and Sam and I share between us. Do I have permission to read something?
Please do.
A particular relic, maybe?
Go on. Yeah.
Yes.
The pot of grand reveals, a 3-track relic. No matter how many times this simple clay pot is broken, the shards always repiece themselves. It rattles and clatters when shaken. What could be inside? Initial effect. You may mark every remaining box on this relic's track to break it open, revealing a material oddment of the guide's choice. Unlockable effect for study 2. Shouting enthusiastically while breaking the pot allows you to remove a point of despair and add a point of hope. Unlockable effect study 3. When you break the pot, add a positive tag of your choice to the oddment you receive. And the cost is, you cannot clear marks on the pot of grand reveals through maintenance tasks taken while camping. Instead, a mark is cleared from the relic's track every time the dawn bell rings. And that is definitely not, of course it wouldn't be, definitely not a reference to just how much a particular small Kokiri-esque child loves throwing pots around.
It's the shouting for added effect that does it for me. Yes.
Shouting is part of the magic that makes it work.
Occasionally,
and
you
that's
find
actually not the only.
What the hell's this?
It's not the only Zelda reference as well. So but let's leave that for discovery.
Yeah. In fact, I've just thought there's another Zelda reference from another piece of Felix writing in there. Actually just remembered.
Nintendo, look away.
Felix and stuff says, congrats on 4/5 already. As a little question, what was the first drawing you ever did for the Eternal Ruins that is still featured in the modern project or that still exists in the world?
Ooh, good question.
I guess that was kind of answered earlier, but I would say, the sleeping statues illustration has been the one that almost everything has been built out of that. The fact that it's still like the main image is kind of amazing, actually.
It's such a gorgeous piece of art as well.
I don't know what I did there, but something clicked in my brain, I guess. And, I don't know. I look at it and I'm like, how did I do that? So yes, definitely that one.
And I do like one of the ones. It's the picture of the wanderer gathering dewlets from the fountain, which I didn't realize has more links to stuff later. It's the character repeats a lot. Doesn't she?
Exactly.
Yeah, and I didn't realize who that character was and how significant that was until someone pointed it out to me.
In the beginning, I think I had more of this idea of having like recurring characters and stuff in illustrations, and then that kind of fell off a little bit. But it is something I'm interested in doing again. Yeah.
It's like I really like the fact that our little band of wanderers have cropped up in some of the other illustrations, like where you've got them in the character gen bit walking across a bridge together.
Yes.
So like the fact that Friendful Uli and Tally Redhand and Bracken of Low Walls have become kind of named characters within the ruins now.
Yeah, I really like that, and I think I would like to cameo drop them in illustrations as I go forward. Yeah,
I'd love that.
Samurai Knight asks, with cooking, is there cannibalism? Now, if you were asking about the Wild Sea, the answer would be yes, 100%. But in the Eternal Ruins, explicitly in the book, no, it's not that kind of vibe.
No.
However, we can't stop you doing it in your home games, so go wild if you want to.
Yeah.
In fact, you will notice that none of the animal hazards actually have meat listed as their oddments, and that was intentional because we didn't want it to be a hunting sim. That doesn't mean that in your games you can't have them drop meat, but it's not a built-in thing.
Yeah, we didn't want the gameplay loop to be like hunt animal, harvest.
Let's go murder
some
cute
there will
things.
be a different feeling of the game. Yeah. No questions.
Kath Ander says, are there any things from the Fanon you've considered adding to the official ER lore?
We did mention the Moss cult potentially having a form in the canon. I try to avoid it on the mostly a creative basis, I guess, of firstly not wanting to take people's ideas. I like to make sure everything I make is something I've thought of and I'm not like adding things that I didn't make. But I also I just overthink if I would think of something and be like, oh, but that's similar to this thing someone else made, I would just get stuck in too much of a spiral, I think. So I sort of purposefully like try not to look at too much fanon stuff. But the stuff I have seen, I do really like. But yeah, I'm not sure it would require a lot of conversation with the creator if it was going to be added.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like initially we wanted to include a lot of Wanderer names in the list of example names from the Fanon, and then we were like, we should only do this if we've asked permission and expressly said, these will be used by giving us your names. And now we have done that. People have supplied their Wanderer names, so there are Fanon Wanderer names in the list of suggested Wanderer names, but that was very specific. We had to ask permission.
Exactly. Yeah, but I do really like that because there are so many fan wanderers. I like the idea that they are real and that the name options in the book, which I like.
Sorry, Fazzy Marley has asked a question and we accidentally skipped it. I'm just scrolling back up to find it. According to your Kickstarter, inspirations stem from Hollow Knight, Talos. I'm not sure I know that.
Legend of Zelda.
Legend of Zelda. There you go. Eco and Nausica. But I feel a lot of Made in Abyss energy coming from your project. Do you know that show?
Yes. I saw it after starting this project. There are bits I like, and there are bits I don't like, and that's basically my take. The beginning.
I haven't
cool.
known about it at all, apart from what Sam said to me. So
there's stuff that's not so great. So I tend to avoid the comparison because it wasn't an original inspiration anyway. I only saw it later.
Yeah, and I'll echo Sam. It's like I'm aware of it. I have read bits of it. I like their focus on cooking, but there's some not great stuff in it. That's all
nothing about it.
But there's another question about references from Paxamad. Are there any Hollow Knight references? Is a relic vault found in the first place for a Zelda reference?
Rob, are there any?
Well, I love Hollow Knight, and I've started playing Silk Song. I'd started writing for Eternal Ruins before I started playing Silk Song, and then only after I got to a certain point in Silk Song did I realise that there's a place in Silk Song and there's a place in the full version of the book that share the same name. There's not an intentional reference.
Let it be known here and now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it was
there's
literally a conversation we had last week where Rob was going, "Oh no."
Shall I rename it? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
But again, some of the aspects for the Curse Broken are definitely Hollow Knight vague, not exactly meant to be Easter eggs, but if you like black clad little edge lords with a big sword over their shoulder, you'll like the Curse Broken. I mean, Hollow Knight and Berserk, the manga, are weirdly similar. And again, like Berserk was one of the things I sort of had a little mental image of what my Curse Broken Wanderer would look like, and it was definitely a tiny Guts from Berserk. And I like, and Guts from Berserk is just is the knight from Hollow Knight. So
And I feel one of the spirits in minor spirits in the full version is sort of slightly Hollow Knight inspired, if you know which one I mean. Quishy?
I don't know which
No?
one's
No,
that?
I don't.
Or-
No idea.
Oh,
Got no
Quishy.
idea.
No, yes, actually, yes, Quishy. Yeah, Quishy is actually. I don't think Quishy was intentionally Hollow Knighty, but then like my mental image for Quishy is the charm merchant from Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
Because she's like very over the top and very
Yeah.
loud. Yeah. So yeah, there's more than the fair share of Hollow Knight references, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I think actually on this topic, I find this quite interesting as someone who has designed now multiple games across different worlds. It always baffles me when people don't wear their influences on their sleeve. I think it's really nice to be honest about the things that inspire you, because there is so much joy to be had, not in seeing something and going, right, I'm going to use that, but in seeing something and going, that makes me think, and it makes me think of this. And the ideas that branch off from that stuff, I think, are a wonderful. It's a wonderful way of getting ideas because it makes you think in ways that you wouldn't otherwise have thought, and I think that's really nice.
Yeah.
And it's one thing I
agree.
really like talking about Blades in the Dark as well is. Oh, sorry, Sam.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say Blades in the Dark is very. They use them as what they call touchstones, which is it's a very good way of sort of conveying, not influences, but sort of going. If you like this, then it's kind of the same thing. Like basically saying, oh, a touchstone for this was, Nausicaa, because the idea of sort of the overgrowth of things and the giant bugs and things like that, and the green world reclaiming the made world. It's a good way of basically going, have you seen that? We're similar, and people instantly like queue up mentally what you're talking about rather than having to spend a long time explaining it. So
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree, and I think for me as illustrator, I had something before of like, oh, I need to be like unique, like the thing I make needs to be not inspired by anything else. It's like something only I made, and something that isn't inspired by anything else is basically just very hard for people to connect with. Like it is those connections to other things we like that helps us connect with new things. Kind of like a giant network, essentially, of culture, I guess, or the things we make and their inspirations to each other. So yeah, I think I mentioned on one of the podcasts I did, but I used to feel like, I don't know, bad if people would be like, oh, this reminds me of this. Like people are like, oh, the Eternal Ruins reminds me of Hollow Knight. This is before Eternal Ruins, but that kind of thing. But now I understand it's actually people's way of saying they like it, because it's like something they already know and enjoy.
Yeah.
I have a related story to this if you want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
When I was creating the Wild Sea, which was many years ago now, but again runs on the Wild Words engine, the same one that is used by the Eternal Ruins RPG. When I was creating the Wild Sea and doing the rules and mechanics behind it, one of the things we got when we had some open kind of public beta stuff was we had one particular person, not naming names, this is many years in the past and I can't even remember their name now, but one particular person who said, this is obviously stealing from Fate. And it's like, oh, is it? Because I've never played Fate and I don't really know anything about it as a game system. But they were insistent that I was stealing mechanics from Fate. And the two things that I found weird about that well, one, the idea of stealing from something which is meant to be open and to inspire. I mean, it's a role-playing game. They're literally made to be sparks to the imagination. So the concept of stealing from a game is odd in the first place. But the second bit is the thing that they insisted and would not believe otherwise that was stolen from Fate. I'd already said where I'd got the idea from. I hadn't gone like, oh, I've come up with this amazing idea. I literally said, hey, Fallen London, the fail better browser-based game, incredible game. The story nexus engine behind that game, it tracks things like this, and I adapted that for the Wild Sea. So not only was I not stealing from the thing they thought I was stealing from, I'd already said the thing which was the absolute basis of the system. And it confused me so much at the time, and it still confuses me now. I barely remember most of the comments I got back then, but I still remember that one.
Yeah, you tend to remember the the bad ones, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
it was
I
just
get
the
similar stuff
insistence.
like that.
I know
Yeah.
where you got this, and it's like I
Yeah.
didn't get it from there. I know you did. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I know I didn't. You can
Yeah,
believe
it's,
me or not.
It's strange because I have the same thing sometimes where I'm pretty clear about what the influences are. But yeah, then like I said, there'll be stuff I've never heard of until people pointed them out to me because what I'm making is similar. But yeah, every now and then it'll be like, oh, so you basically just made Blam but in fantasy, and I'm like, I didn't actually know about it until recently. But yeah, yeah. But again, for me, that's
is
just
it Blam,
means.
or is it, I've always read it as Blame.
Apparently, it's Blam because it's the sound of his gun. Every issue he solves his problem by just pulling out a super powerful pistol and blowing a giant hole and stuff. So yeah, apparently it's pronounced Blum, but I did think it was pronounced Blame for a long time.
Never really. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not to be different,
No,
but I thought it was Blame.
Okay, maybe it is. I don't know.
Like
I've heard Blum. Cool.
Sorry.
By the way, how are you guys feeling? Because I don't know how much longer you want to go.
I'm
well.
fine to continue.
I wouldn't head off too quickly, Sam, because you're currently at $47,000 out of 50,000. So
yeah, I mean, I don't want to go.
If you just went, all right, guys, stream's over.
I was thinking more for your guys' time because I know we said an hour and then we just kind of kept going. So I just wanted to make sure.
This is one of the joys of doing this for a job is that I can basically go, well, this is my day.
Yeah, this is work. I'm at work right now. I'm eating breakfast, watching a Kickstarter counter.
Yeah, I've just noticed that apparently Dave Falmavor has dropped his review, and the title card is a world-building masterpiece? ?
Well, let's hope the question is answered with the word yes.
Yeah. But Dave is.
But at least the question is being asked.
RPG reviews. So,
yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So we'll have to watch that later.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's see.
Where are we? So we Zoppy says, do you know about Rain World? I know it's not that similar, but they definitely have similar vibes.
I haven't played it, but I do know about it. I think it looks wonderful. And yes, I know what you mean about the vibes as well, from what I've seen.
Yeah, I have tried to play it like 5 times, and I love the atmosphere and the theme so much. You're essentially this small creature exploring the inner guts of this giant decrepit structure. And I really like everything about it, except that it's just so hard. I just can't get it through the gameplay, and I like hard games, but for whatever reason I just haven't been able to crack into it. But I will probably keep trying until I eventually get it. Yeah.
And
Rob,
I'm aware of it.
played
I've seen videos and pictures. I've not played it, but it's one of those things I keep looking at it going, God, that looks gorgeous. But then I've got other things that distract me. So at some point I might try and get into it. But I've got loads of other things. I'm going to try and go back into playing Darkest Dungeon at some point because it was the 10th anniversary of that.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
One of the first things I kickstarted. Yeah. Fazzy Marley says, have you thought of just adding the art book to your Kickstarter? I would love to play the whole thing, but don't have people to play with, so I think I'd rather grab the art book and enjoy that. That would be, if you do a comment or on the actual Kickstarter, it might be that something that MythWorks would add as a standalone pledge. I'm not sure.
We keep out of the
asking
business end of
MythWorks.
stuff.
Yeah. The other thing is that one of the stretch goals we can say is solo rules. If we do get enough backers, solo rules are something that will be included. So you could hopefully back enough, and you will be able to play on your own.
If you give us enough money.
Yeah. Which unfortunately, I don't like having to lock stuff like that behind it, but also solo rules are really difficult to write, and we're not writing it. It's not me and Felix. It will be someone else
who is very good at writing solo rules.
Their speciality is solo rules, and unfortunately, you don't get stuff for free, so we have to kind of gate it a little bit. But it would be really
that's
cool
always the oh no, sorry Rob.
No, that was it. That's me.
I was saying that's always the problem with RPG stuff. It's especially as a writer and designer, it's such a realm of creativity. But at the end of the day, it's compared to a lot of other creative industries. I mean, we're in the middle money-wise in terms of like how much money a project can generate. But unless you're Dungeons and Dragons or very, very lucky, you are not going to get megabucks. It's not a thing that's going to happen for a project. I've been quite lucky over the years, which is really good. But still, compared to something that the average D&D book would bring in, it's a drop in a tiny, tiny pond, you know. So yeah, unfortunately, there is that line where you go, I want to give you everything, but at some point we need to pay for it, and that point is a lot closer for more indie-ish outfits, unfortunately. So.
Yeah. And we're very lucky with Eternal Ruins in that the guy running it, Sam, is also the artist, because I believe, and I know MythWorks believe, in paying artists what they deserve. And the artwork that Sam has given us for this, if we were paying for this, if it was me and Felix wrote Eternal Ruins and then had contracted Sam to pay this, my God, we'd need to be getting a lot of money.
Oh yeah, that would be an expensive book.
Yeah, this artwork is just, it's phenomenal, and yeah, I dread to think how much you charge for commissions, Sam.
I won't say here, but yes, it probably
will be an
more expensive book.
I want you to design.
Yeah, exactly. We'll talk.
Yeah. Zipperfist says, can indie devs build stuff using wild words? Like Blades in the Dark are Forged in the Dark. What's the derivative games using wild words called, if that's a thing?
Yes, you can indeed. It is games that are told by wild words. We have an SRD, a system reference document, that is freely available. It is a PDF and also available as a website. Maybe a MythWorks person can link it in the chat if they want to. But yeah, I love seeing wild words games. I've seen lots and lots and lots of in development ones, and without naming names, because I never know how far or how complete something is going to end up. I've seen a couple that are almost complete and that look very cool, and that I have not touched in the slightest. So it's really lovely to see someone else using the rules I've made to make something for them. I think it's fantastic.
I started writing 2 different Told by Wild Words games, and unfortunately they're still sat on my to finish pile.
Don't tell me that. I'll never leave you alone. I'll just be poking every week. You finished those games yet?
One was a Destiny inspired one, very Alistair Reynolds Revelation Space, if you know that as well. And the other one was Orcs in it's Orcs doing Mad Max, so it's Gorka Morka, the role playing game.
Yeah.
Nice.
Our support at MythWorks just ask what they are being asked to link in the chat. They just walk back into the room.
The SRD.
The Told by Wild Words SRD, please.
Yes, there you go. The Wild Words SRD, please, if you can.
Typical when you're like, all right, I'm just going to leave for just a moment. Nothing's going to happen.
Oh God, they're asking me to do something. What was it?
Yeah.
Are we out of questions? Did we do them all?
500.
I know. I just was looking at it like,
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. When it goes over, I'll tell you. But I imagine
Okay,
you might
yeah.
be watching it now. So
There'll be fireworks.
Yeah,
and-
I'm
yeah.
keeping an eye on
We're
it.
at the end of the questions by the looks of it. So
Yeah,
do we
yeah.
want to talk about some of the book now?
Yes.
Oh yes. If anyone else has any other questions, throw them in the chat. We will get to them soon-ish.
Yeah,
Oh no, the MythWorks support's been taken over by the moss.
That happens.
Need some water. I must hydrate for the moss. Right.
I-
Speaking of
I
which, I'm just
have,
going to go and grab myself some hydration. So if you two want to just chat amongst yourselves, I'll be back in a second.
Sure. Felix, I can hit
Hi,
you with
Sam.
a question. Hello.
Did I? Oh.
My question for you would be, what would your
Yes.
advice be for a total newcomer to role-playing games who is interested in running this game for their friends?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I think my advice would be, as with all Wild Words games, it is made so that you can do almost everything in terms of interacting with the world with the basic dice roll if you want to. There are lots and lots of rules for lots and lots of extra things you can do, but almost everything can be collapsed down to a d6 dice pool roll with either a triumph, a conflict, or a disaster as the result. And that is by design, because I think one of the things I like the least when it comes to role-playing games is being forced to check the book for an esoteric rule. It slows the pace of play. Now, if you know all the rules or have a quick reference sheet or something, that is brilliant. But as a newcomer to Wild Words games in general, or role-playing games in general, all you really need to do is hammer home that basic dice resolution for yourself. You need to know how to make a dice pool and when to roll it, which is basically when you want to do something interesting. And if you remember nothing other than that, you can still have a fulfilling game. I think it's one of the design goals of all the Wild Words games. Now, they can also get a lot more depth out of it, blah, 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 blah. But the most important thing is it is easy to play in its simplest form.
Yes, I agree.
So, yeah, don't worry about remembering everything. Just remember the basics and go from there.
Yeah. And I would say as well that this game really doesn't need almost any prep. I would say the prep is looking through basically what kind of stuff you think might be interesting as like an encounter of like, I like the spirit igloo and I would love to have them if that kind of encounter pops up, then I can use that. So I think like looking through the book and imagining which kind of things you would like to drop in is good. But other than that, I would say it's you really don't need it, and almost like it's good to go with the flow of where the journeying takes you, because it introduces quite a bit of randomness of where you'll end up that I think it would be hard to try and give like a particularly guided experience with this system.
Yeah, it is very much the kind of game you can go to without spending a long time prepping for it. If you want to prep for it, you can. And you can, as the adventures written for the Wild Sea show, you can do a lot with a pre-written story as long as you stay a little bit flexible with it. But it doesn't need it. You don't need to go into a session with a big overarching plot you want to follow.
Yeah.
And that, again, is one of the design goals of the system. Because a lot of people that grew up around me playing role-playing games, they are adults now with lives and jobs and families. I almost count as one of those. But it is harder to get a group together these days, and people just don't have as much time for prep as they used to. I love a game that you can do a good, solid prep for, but it's just not always the easiest thing to do in the modern world, unfortunately. So, yeah, low preppiness is good.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hi, Rob.
Hello.
I was just asking a question, which I think would be good for you.
I like how the professionalism of this stream has just nosedived in the last 20 minutes.
Yes.
Well, we're coming up on 2 hours, 117 minutes in,
Yeah.
and we are, like almost it's just gone up again as I'm looking. We're at $49,254. We are
God.
$750 off our total.
746.
Ah. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. We're going to
Yeah.
be able to slap a funded in 3 hours banner, hopefully.
Yes. Although, of course, there is always the chance, Sam, that might be the last pledge you'll ever get. So you're going to be at $49,254.
Why would you say that?
For the entirety of the next month.
Why would you say that?
I've not backed it yet. I've not backed it yet. I'll dive in.
Okay.
Oh no.
Rob puts in his $1 pledge.
There you go. Oh dear.
No, it's on a genuine, more vaguely professional note. I am, as the co-writer and designer, and I'm sure Rob feels the same way, and I'm sure Sam also feels the same way, and we'll probably talk about it in a second. Incredibly thankful for the level of support this has gotten so far, for almost hitting its goal in the first 2 hours, and looks like we will hit our goal within the first 3. It's all you can really ask for when you're asking for people's support for something that is still essentially a work in progress in some ways. A near finished work in progress, a proven work in progress, but still a work in progress. Kickstarter's always scary for developers when you have to go in going like, hey, look at this thing. Do you want more of it, please? So yeah, thank you. Just like the previous games I've run on Kickstarter, it means the world to a writer and designer, and I'm sure even more for Sam in this case as the creator of the world, to see how much support we've gotten. It really blows me away.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm like grateful and blown away that that was so close to the funding goal so quickly. Like it was I said earlier, like especially today, of just that last minute, like, oh no, what if it fails? Like energy hit in, but yeah, I'm just so grateful. So yeah, thank you to everyone who's backed so far.
Yeah,
it's from my point of view, it's weird that having played role-playing games since I was 14, which is now over 30 years, like when I started playing, going, God, this is great, and sort of thinking, oh, maybe I can do this one day, and now it is a good chunk of my actual job is to write role-play games. And that's only because people buy the stuff that I write. So I'm always eternally grateful for people who back the projects that I work on, and that I get a chance to work on such amazing projects as the Eternal Ruins. So
it's eternally grateful.
I should have
eternally ruined.
The other interesting thing is we're currently at 497 backers, so we're almost at 500 backers, and we're almost fully funded. So pretty cool.
I'm dying watching this.
Someone's just
I love watching it.
Gameplay where there is a an actual play video on Sam's channel where you can watch. It's mostly listen to Felix, Sam, and I, and some other friends playing a little example game of this. Check it out.
It is also linked on the Kickstarter page.
Yes. Check it out.
Cuddle Guts said, "Sam, show us some more pretty pages. Do you want to show some more pretty pages?"
Keep forgetting about the PDF. I'll scroll a little. Yeah.
And there are some amazing, more amazing pretty pages to come. I mean, some of the artwork that Sam has finished that we've not put in the beta is great. There's particularly we've got the Spirit Coltes, who currently doesn't have artwork, and the artwork for Coltes is fantastic. And I'm trying to think.
That one specifically was such a challenge for me because
50,000. Sorry, Sam. Sorry to interrupt you with the good news.
Oh my god!
There you go, funded.
Yes.
502 backers. 50,000.
Yeah.
Nice.
What a lovely feeling.
I'm that's very overwhelming.
Oh, first
wow.
time, Sam.
Yeah.
I cannot explain the relief and joy I feel right now.
Yeah. Well done, dude. Absolutely
one of those
deserved.
things. Yeah, one of those things that you don't really get to see from the kind of the player and buyer and backer side of things is just how much effort goes into not only the project as a whole, but the organization and the final days. And there are so many meetings and worries and talks and stresses, and seeing it go over that line, it's a good feeling. Sam, you should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you. I'm getting emotional now. Yeah, I mean, the last months have been like non-stop, like barely any breaks, working weekends, and even before that, like making this whole project has been a labor of love, and like I would do it again, but yeah, it has been a lot. So yeah, I'm very overwhelmed right now. Thank you so much, everyone. I think it's the wave of relief and joy. Yeah.
The Eternal Ruins Discord is currently melting down. It's quite funny.
Dear.
I am looking forward to seeing. So I do know that one of the Eternal Ruins Discord members in particular has bagged one of the Wanderer drawings. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you come up with. Those.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, I can't wait to.
Worm-eyed Land may well be.
Nice. Yes.
Yes. Felix is one of the ones who has grabbed it. Not this Felix.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah, not me.
No, but because we were saying earlier, we hope that some of the Discord people get that.
Yeah, amazing. Everyone's
Are there any more questions? Yeah, sorry, have we missed questions? Because I was just watching the tracker for a while.
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Oh
man. Let's have a look. I got a question. Will we get some tactile things in later pledges? Maybe some dice or relic cards? So dice were floated, but I know that dice are a bit of a pain to produce. So dice are not one of the things that will be floated. And again, relic cards were originally we were intending, rather than having a D66 table, to have cards for the locations. But I don't think there's anything like that to come. All the stretch goals. Oh, in fact, no. There is one stretch goal that will be a tactile thing. It's the very last stretch goal, though, so I'm not sure I'm allowed to talk about that.
Yeah, no. But yeah, there is that, and I mean, I think one of the visible ones is already the stickers. So yeah, there is more.
Yes.
More
in fact,
art.
Yes. There might be more things added to the stickers, might there? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
As someone that again, I've done quite a few campaigns before this with that kind of thing added on to it. Pico had its stickers. All the Wildseed campaigns have had their dice. They are amazing when you see them made and when people play with them. It's always really heartening to see people playing their game with the dice from that game. The original Wildseed dice were a beautiful wooden set. They were fantastic, using glyphs from the world. But behind the scenes, the logistics of getting that stuff made can be punishing. We had a lot of problems with stuff. We worked it out for the old Wildseed campaigns, but it was definitely one of the harder parts behind the scenes, and that was the publisher making that work. So big props to them on that. And I can completely see why in the modern day they might be like, let's hold off on that kind of thing for a bit. So yeah, it's may not be perfect, but it is understandable, I think.
We've been asked by Eureka B, are there any plans for Roll20 or similar platforms? There's already a very good digital character creator being created by a fan, which is great. I think one of the things I would love is the people who did the digital character creator for Wildsea and Pico, if they got involved, but I'm not sure we've actually spoken to them.
They're a lovely group.
But as for Roll20, you can develop modules for them yourself if you are a specific subscriber level, which I am not. But if someone does want to do that, then contact MythWorks and have a chat with MythWorks and see if that's something that they can help you do.
Another question, Felix and Stuff says, important question, how is it possible to be so awesome like you three and the MythWorks team? Well, I mean, it's a long process. No, genuine answer though, and I get asked things along these lines sometimes. Like how can I do what you do, essentially, or how can someone do these things? And unfortunately, and possibly fortunately, the answer is work hard at it, have fun with it, and then get lucky. Luck is a big part of this kind of industry, and maybe it shouldn't be. It would be nicer if it wasn't, but it is a big part of the industry. But a lot of it comes from just working on your stuff and being confident in your stuff and enjoying your stuff. Because the more you enjoy your own stuff, the more other people will enjoy it being shared with them. I think that's one of the things that originally attracted me to the Eternal Ruins. It was a world in which I could see. It was a world that someone cared about. It was made because it was important. And I love that.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Dave Thalmavor, I don't know who that is, some guy.
Yeah. Oh no, I've never heard of him.
Says, sorry if this is already asked. It hasn't been. Could there be 3D printable files for people to print little bits and bobs from the game as table props? I'm an avid 3D printer guy. I'll look at Sam for that one.
I have previously been more on the side of no on that, but the real answer is I don't know. I think it's maybe a smaller audience than people with 3D printers think, as someone who has a 3D printer. I think for me, the only worry as a creator is that once your file is out there, it's out there, and you see a lot of stuff of like Etsy resellers selling people's designs without paying them and stuff. So yeah, I think I've been cautious about it because of that. So I don't know, basically.
It's really interesting to see how much people like printing off little doodads from the game and things like that. Yeah. I don't 3D print myself, but I can definitely see the appeal of it.
Yeah, I will say on the Discord, someone 3D modeled and printed. Which one was it? It was Belsoom. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that, Felix. I need to send it.
Oh yes, I saw that.
Yeah. Oh no, I haven't done that at all.
Yeah, I need to
awesome.
Send that to you. Yeah, it's amazing. I can find it. Yeah, it's crazy actually. Yeah, seeing stuff like that makes me really happy. So yeah, maybe, I don't know. I'll find that while you guys talk, so we don't sit here inside.
Did we miss the question from Humble Gallipot? Why did you opt to use the WildC engine for this project? Did we miss that one?
No, I think we missed that one. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, actually, Sam, that's more for you to answer, because I can give you the context, which was when Sam and I first talked about what the Eternal Ruins would look like as the Eternal Ruins RPG. Part of it was me saying, I am willing to make an entirely new system for this, but you should have a look at Wild Words as an engine and see what you like from it and what you don't, because I think it could work for it. And in the end, you did decide to use it with some tweaks, which we then did together, and with Rob. So I know why I suggested it. I thought it was appropriate, but I don't know why you accepted it. So that might be interesting for people to know. I mean, hopefully because you think it's good, but like as a more specific thing.
Yeah, I mean, as a player, like we've mentioned, Forged in the Dark before. It had a lot of aspects of that I like already as a player. Partial successes. Dice pools of D6s are also my favorite dice system. And the aspects I really liked. the idea that they are the hit points essentially, and that the narrative implications of temporarily losing your aspect, like in the test game we played where my tough wanderer got stung by a bee and then lost his tough aspect temporarily and started crying like a baby. That kind of thing for me, as soon as I heard it, I was like, okay, yeah, I really want that for this game. So but so basically, as a player of tabletop games, it aligned a lot with what I like.
Yeah.
I just sent you.
I'm going to hop off for 2 minutes, but I will return. I was going to say, Samurai Knight has a question, which I think is for you, Sam.
Okay.
Will we see more statues thrown in the Kickstarter? I'll be back in a minute.
That's a good question. We kept them very limited because I am the entire bottleneck on this project, essentially, in that I need to make all of the artwork for the book, all of the art that is in the book and will be in the book is made by me, which is a lot because this is a chunky book. So we wanted to keep the statues limited. But I don't know. We'll talk about it, I think, and see. Because I did not expect them to go so quickly. So
people love your handcrafted statues.
Yeah, sort of handcrafted, 3D printed and hand painted. Yes. Yeah, but I enjoy doing those a lot, especially as someone who sits on a screen a lot. I like like painting miniatures and stuff like that. It's a joy. So so if I have time, then more would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so we might see, it depends entirely on Sam, as you said. We might see some later open up sometimes in other Kickstarters where we've had great responses to some of the high level tier stuff. Like we've done a second round later on, but then it's also quite hard because then it kind of undervalues the people who were there first. But it's a very sort of swings and roundabouts thing of do you add more so people can get more, or do you keep them limited so that the people who got them feel special?
Yeah, well,
and also Sam's
we'll
got so much
artwork
to draw now.
Yeah, exactly. I have a very big Excel document of things, but it's funny. I'm actually looking forward to that a lot. It sounds really backwards, but in making something beyond just illustrations, trying to make a project and then having a community and making this game, it turns out there is a lot of stuff you have to do that isn't sitting and drawing. And those are truly my favorite days, is like when I was drawing the Wanderer, the Paths and Origins art. That is my perfect zone, is like I just have to sit and draw. So I'm actually really looking forward to doing that now. Like once this campaign is getting wrapped up, that I'm like, yes, now I can sit and make this art.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to. Just as a note, someone's just said the volume is super low. Is that a case for everyone? Can we get a brief thing in the chat? Is the volume super low, or is it just nerd enough for two?
Bumpers up. I never know. I'm not a sound guy, so it's always hard.
We've been here for 2 hours. Everyone's really struggling to listen to us. Hopefully it's just a.
I wasn't sure if it was too loud, so I have no idea. Yeah.
What's too loud?
It's fine. Volume is fine for me.
Okay,
right, sounds like we're okay. Cool.
Turn your volume up, whoever that was.
Yeah, volume is perfect. Sound seems fine. Okay, great. Thanks, guys. Yes, I'm really keen to see the artwork for the remaining Origins and Paths. Just because every time you sent us, and again, it's the process might interest some people. So when Felix and I wrote a Path and an Origin, Sam would send us a little kind of character set of designs with a couple of different variations, and we'd be like, this one, that one, and then he'd then mock them up with little T-pose Wanderers with the sort of the costume designs, and then they actually arrived in their finished form. So, and just seeing like what we've put together like the root broken, which is you're currently on screen. When I described them as like, oh yeah, they're kind of wrapped in leaves and they've got their cloak, and Sam was like, well, what should we have? And I was like, well, maybe show off the broadleaf mantle, so like a big cloak made of leaves. And then seeing how Sam interprets those is a delight every time. And I'm really keen to see like a couple of the paths, a couple of the origins, how they're translated.
I was going to say, I can show.
Is there a particular?
Might be a bit of delay, but just a little mock-up we made for the art book to show a bit of what you were just talking about of these design process for the artwork for the Wanderers. That I will essentially first I'll try and draw any thing that just immediately comes to mind of whether a visual like a hairstyle or the kind of things that Wanderer might carry. The aspects that you guys make are always like almost like the best brief for imagining the different kinds of stuff these Wanderers could have. For example, like the broadleaf mantle, I was like, I have to have a cloak made of leaves for this character. And then sort of finalizing that into these small front on flat sketches to it's so much easier to figure out the design when you're not trying to make it look cool at the same time. Like those very hard to pull off simultaneously. So yeah, it's a lot nicer to have the design and then focus on making a nicer version of it.
Is there a particular origin or path in the full version you're looking forward to drawing?
Oh, let me pull up the list.
I know what I'm looking forward to.
I was going to say, testing your knowledge of the paths and origins for the full version.
I mean, definitely the Curse Broken, because I too am a big Berserk fan. And this project is quite cute, but every now and then I think some of my love for that kind of darker stuff seeps in a bit. So it would be fun to focus a bit more on like the kind of the edgelord side of Wanderers. But I don't know, it sounds dumb, but like all of them, especially the advanced paths that we've revealed, I guess we can talk about that. The Spirit Warden and Demon Keeper paths. I don't think I actually have a drawing of a Spirit Warden at this point, which is really weird. It's just sometimes things like that, as one person making something, kind of slip through the cracks. Another is there isn't a painted illustration, like a full-on piece of servitors, which is also strange.
Yes, which is one of the things we found when we were laying out the chapters, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah.
So that is also on the list, is to make a full-on servitor illustration, which is again like something where it's like I sort of know exactly what I want to do and have for years. It's just kind of in this mental backlog of tasks that get pushed back, I guess. But which were your guys' favorite upcoming ones, if that's all right?
Sorry?
Which were your guys' favorite upcoming art for paths and origins?
Rescriptor.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Because I just love servitors. They're cool.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Curse Broken, because again I want to see what you come up with for that one. Also, Demon Keeper and Spirit Warden, just because they represent kind of not quite an end goal for Wanderers, but because they're advanced paths. They're paths that you can be as well as another path. So you can be a Scrounger and a Spirit Warden, or a Rascal and a Demon Keeper, and so they kind of represent a sort of a high level, as it were, Wanderer. To my mind, I'm hoping they'll look kind of like someone who's been around the ruins, maybe been a bit more, traveled, storied, So I'm really curious what you come up with for them, and potentially which demon and which spirit you pick to embody those, or if they're a sort of a generic.
True.
Not putting pressure on you.
It's a really good point, though. Of the paths and origins we did for the beta, we kind of wanted to show like in a way the most, I don't want to say basic because that sounds bad, but I don't know, like boiled
Typical.
down like typical like standard wanderers, I guess. And especially for the origins, when I did the art for that, the idea was that they were maybe like newly awakened. They all have shorter hair, and their gear really represents the stuff they would have found around them. Whereas I think for some of these other ones, it's going to be fun to showcase what someone who's been wandering for a long time might look like.
Yeah. It's like one of the interesting questions we had on the Discord a while ago was, are there going to be other advanced paths? Which currently the Spirit Ward and the Demon Keeper are the only ones planned. But that immediately put my head on like, oh, what else would be an advanced path? And like the idea of, I don't even know what it would be, like a sort of a relic collector or something like that, or someone who's like, the idea is, it definitely is there's fertile ground there, and there's like, oh, the idea of having these other advanced paths is like, well, no plans at the moment.
There's
but
room.
I really want
there's
to.
room to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions?
We've got a couple of questions popped in.
Oh. Yeah, go for it, Rob.
Idle Wildwind says, this may have been answered already. Someone please tell me the timestamp. Will there be more videos of the campaign with Atty, Hazel, Semu, and Jan?
I wish I could say yes.
Sadly, probably not, because editing the video almost broke Sam.
It turns out I was like, I edit a lot of videos that are 10 minutes long, so it's probably just a bit more work to edit like 3.5 hours of footage. It turns out it's a lot more work. I think it took like 5 or 6 days.
It always
like
killed your
8 hours of editing.
At one point rendering it, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It was like I had to learn a lot about video editing to handle the footage as well. So yeah, I would rather not do that again unless we can like get someone to edit the video. That's not me. Yeah. But it was very fun.
We really enjoyed playing it. Yeah, I think we'd all really enjoyed doing it again. But also the other thing is, Semu and Jan's players are different time zones to the other three of us, so coordinating that was interesting, but not the end of the world. But it's getting them in the right time zone.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're glad you liked it so much. And at 5203 says, I cannot get over how cool this collab is. I'm curious to know who contacted who first with the idea of the Eternal Ruins RPG.
Yes, I found it on YouTube. Again, thanks Monster Garden for the world building boost. I found it on YouTube, thought it was amazing. I talked to Ray at MythWorks, and then Ray at MythWorks, I believe, talked to you, Sam, and then Sam, you talked to me, and then we talked back and forth, I think. Is that about right?
No, yeah, that's accurate. Yeah, that's how it went. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was kind of like a three-ish way web for the first bit, and then when it became more of a, okay, we are actually doing this, rather than talking about, are we doing this, then I talked to Rob, and then Rob talked to me, and then Rob talked to Sam, and then we kind of got going. So
yeah. John Mark Green says, hi, is there any possibility of contacting someone on the team remaking music, soundscape, ambient music to augment play in the Eternal Ruins? Talk to if you can contact MythWorks, or if MythWorks support is loitering in the chat, can you ping a suitable email?
Yes, because I particularly love having OST stuff for role-playing games. Both the Wild Sea Core Book and the Wild Sea Storm and Root Kickstarter campaigns had an amazing soundtrack done for them. In fact, the Wild Sea had 2 amazing soundtracks done for it. One that was more ambient in-universe stuff, or one that was more ambient stuff specifically for play, and one that was more in-universe stuff for like the feeling of the world, that was also great for videos and things. So yeah, it is something that I absolutely love. And you can find those on Bandcamp or wherever you can find it. If you just search for the Wild Sea OSTs, and you will find them. There's a lot of good stuff there. So if you do something similar to that for Eternal Ruins, that would be lovely.
Yeah,
similarly, I was really inspired by the Wild Sea soundtrack, and with my Kickstarter for When the Moon Hangs Low, I'd been contacted by a composer. So yeah, I did a soundtrack, like a lovely dark gothic Victorian soundtrack for that, and that's really cool. So
yeah. I will say, like, I think that's the thing I get contacted most for is composers who want to make music, which I think is amazing, and also makes it very hard to to be like make any choices with it, I guess. But yeah, we've been very lucky with fans making music and letting me use that music for my videos as well. So a lot of the music in the YouTube videos is created by fans, which I think is amazing. Yeah.
Is there any music you listen to when you're drawing or writing Eternal Ruins stuff that gets you in the mood? Is there a particular soundtrack?
Yes, I have like a playlist that's a lot of ambient music. There was one I started listening to recently, a soundtrack called The Wild at Heart. I don't actually know what it is, unfortunately. But I really like the soundtrack to it. It feels very Eternal Ruins coded, so I can recommend that. I think it's a Switch game. Cool. Yeah, and it looks very cute. Actually,
when I was writing with Rob, obviously we didn't have music in the background, but when I was writing on my own, it was either the Breath of the Wild soundtrack, the Bastion OST from the first Supergiant game, or various bits of Hollow Knight / Silksong. I think they're all pretty appropriate.
Yeah, so Hollow Knight Silksong was one of my... Hollow Knight Silksong was one of the ones I listened to sometimes when I was writing. But then also I was listening to a lot of Nine Inch Nails and Godsmack and stuff like that. So completely out of what I was writing.
Yeah, a little bit of a different vibe. Oh dear. Okay. So support at MythWorks is going to leave the chat, which is very sad. But thank you, support at MythWorks, for being here and giving info as well. That's really good. But we should also probably wrap it up ourselves at some point soon. It's been a long one.
Yeah. Thank you guys for sticking with me through it. Through to funding.
No, it's been fun.
Yeah. We are now at $54,000.
Wow.
So we're almost at the first stretch goal.
Which is
but let's not hang on. Which
mystery
is
paths.
Two more paths. Mystery paths. What would they be? Are we going to reveal them once they get unlocked? I don't know.
Depends if we're still here, doesn't it?
No, not us. But I mean, is it going to be revealed on the stream, or it'll just be?
I don't know actually, but I hope so.
Probably it might be the first announcement that we do through Kickstarter, I would imagine. So,
yes, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's wrap it up here then. Thank you, both of you, for joining me on this, and thank you to everyone who's watched the stream and to everyone who's pledged for the Kickstarter or just passed the link on or sent kind words. I really, really appreciate it. So yeah, very grateful to everyone right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you everyone. It's been really good fun doing this for the last 2 hours and watching all the support come in, and hopefully we've answered questions and been entertaining while doing it.
Yeah, even if we were a mess in the beginning with the set, or I was.
Yeah, I think that's normal.
Yeah, it happens. Okay.
Sorry, we'll fix it in post.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
But again, thank you, everybody. It's been amazing.